my name is Prisbette Yanis from Evola Design, and wanted to introduce my friend, Carol Wilson.
Hi, Prisbette.
Hi, Carol. And her lovely kitchen that I helped design, with a lot of help from Carol.
It was so much fun, too.
Was it really?
It really was.
I love to go through the kitchen and see all the aspects and how we came and evolved into some of these solutions.
Sure.
And I think that's what made it most pleasurable for me, that we did not really have a set look in mind when we first began. It was more of a discovery.
Exactly. For both of us, you know, we were discovering it on the fly, so to speak. So
Correct.
It's a great creative process. Even though I had a great deal of light in the kitchen to begin with, I still wanted more. The addition of these windows here and a portion of the windows here was just something that was a pipe dream of mine, and we made it happen.
We did. There's just a couple of things that I wanted to showcase, which is a little peekaboo pantry. And this is a little bit old world or old school.
Right,
the pantry. And in design, we have quite a few things that go out of fashion, come back into fashion. Right now, in this special set of circumstances, this pantry just made so much sense.
I had never thought about having a pantry really before having this problem with the elimination of cabinetry, but I love it now because I always had things out on the counters that I sort of felt like clutter to me, but being able to move them into a little area that's not as visible as right there on the counter, I just love it. I use it in that way every day and love the fact that I have it. So. And I still remember the time you walked up to one of these, is this leathered granite?
It's leathered or brushed.
Brushed. And you said, feel this, Carol, it feels so good. And the minute I touched it, I said, this is what I want. Not only the way it feels, but because I did not want a shiny granite countertop. I wanted something that would be a little more subtle than that. And the minute I saw the brushed ubatuba, which is what this is, I said, this is it. This is my new countertop because it has the flecks of gold and orangey touches in it that the floor has, and we just both knew, I think, immediately that this was it. When my friends come into this kitchen, they say, "Where did you find this countertop?" And they fall in love with it as well.
I think it complements everything. It's subtle, and I think one of the comments that we had made when we found it was it feels like a natural rock.
Absolutely.
Because so much is out there that is that shiny, sleek, which can be beautiful. But for this setting, especially with this more rustic floor, it just fit. So I think we were both equally happy.
And then that takes us to the tile that's on the wall as well.
That's right.
Because once
not
we
so
found,
rustic.
Not so rustic.
We didn't want to go as sleek as doing just a typical stainless, because it just was not conducive to all the other materials that we were using. But we wanted something that had a little bit of presence.
Correct.
But we wanted a gentleness to it. And this is what we came up with.
Right.
And we wrapped it with the wood. Again, we did not want it to be a completely different element from everything else. We did marry some of the details of the cabinetry into here, but it's a fully custom palette.
I think it turned out great, and I think it's also one of the pieces that my friends who come, comment on often as well. It just fits beautifully. And Prisbette, you know, the other appliance in the kitchen that my husband and I were so happy that we ultimately chose based on your recommendation is the Fisher-Paykel dishwasher. The thing we like about it is it's 2 drawers. Again, I think drawers are kind of a motif in this kitchen, but it's a 2-drawer dishwasher, which means that because it's really just my husband and myself, we can do very small loads of our dishes, and it just works out beautifully. And I love it, it's quiet, it just is.
And you can do 1 or 2 drawers.
Right, 1 or 2.
Whatever
doesn't
your
matter.
load is.
Yeah, if you have a party.
So if you
can
have
load up
breakfast dishes,
to- Right,
you just do the breakfast dishes. And
Exactly.
they're not sitting there all day long.
absolutely.
Which, yeah, again, it's a great thing to have. I think there's a little bit of an illusion, an optical illusion in this kitchen because of the volume, because of the high ceilings and the openness. This is not a huge kitchen.
Not by any means.
It is not a huge kitchen. When you think about the only spaces that we've really occupied is half of this room. The other half is really open for your table and chairs and just to be able to appreciate the outside. The relationships, I believe, are very important, especially in a smaller kitchen. With no doubt, the sink had to be here.
Yeah, it had to be looking out at the backyard.
Right, it had to be. There was no other choice for that. It's ironic because a lot of people think that they can only have 2 sinks in a larger kitchen.
Right.
And the irony is that you almost need a second sink in a smaller kitchen because then you're dividing and conquering, you're dividing up spaces. The positioning, I think, is what's critical.
Absolutely.
Not so much the
Yes,
size
yes.
of the kitchen, but where it is. And again, having the view. Again, you're at the sink and you have the view. I'm very thankful that you allowed for even this interview to happen. And,
No, you are very welcome. I really enjoy my kitchen.